According to Eddie Hearn, he has removed the rematch clause from the contract for the Anthony Joshua-Dillian Whyte fight at Dillian Whyte's request. He says that he sent Dillian Whyte a standard Dalton Smith-style matchroom contract, and there's no sticking points in there. But we need to hear back from Dillian Whyte to see whether this is actually the case, because as I said in the previous video I did about this situation, if they remove the rematch clause from the contract, are there other things in there such as Eddie Hearn having options on Dillian Whyte should Whyte win? And by options, I mean a long-term multi-fight deal with Dillian Whyte after that, because Dillian Whyte has always worked with Matchroom on a fight-by-fight basis. He's always enjoyed his independence. Having the option, he hasn't chosen to exercise it yet. He's chosen to stay with Matchroom working on this fight-by-fight basis, despite the fact that he could go anywhere for any of his fights. But with some people, maybe it's just having that mental security of if things do go sour or do go left with your current promoter, you can leave at any time because you don't have a long-term contract with them. So that's what we need to know. Does the contract tie Dillian Whyte down to a long-term deal with Matchroom and DAZN if he wins? Because Eddie Hearn said that it was he who insisted on putting the rematch clause in the contract, not Anthony Joshua. He said he went to Joshua and AJ said, yeah, remove it. I don't need a rematch clause to fight Dillian Whyte. And Hearn said that was basically against his advice. He told AJ, no, you should put one in there. But AJ said, no, I don't need one for this guy. Again, this is all according to Eddie Hearn. It's secondhand information. But Hearn said he wanted the rematch clause in there as an insurance policy, as promoters tend to do with their biggest fighters. But my argument, and I know many other people see it this way, is that if Anthony Joshua loses to Dillian Whyte, he's finished. Winning a rematch isn't going to restore his commercial value or his credibility, because Dillian Whyte has been knocked out badly twice in his past 4 fights. He is seen by the majority of the public at this point as a spent force, somebody who Tyson Fury really just toyed with. It'd be one thing if AJ lost to, let's say, Tyson Fury or lost to Deontay Wilder in a competitive fight, because in that scenario, he'd still retain some value. And certainly with Wilder, the rematch might be very profitable, perhaps even with Fury, if the first one's competitive. But with Dillian Whyte, if Anthony Joshua loses to him, he's finished as a top-earning heavyweight, rematch or no rematch. And maybe Eddie Hearn's aware of this, hence being willing to drop the rematch clause after consulting with AJ. But again, for his company, you'd imagine he'd want some type of insurance. And would that be options on Dillian Whyte moving forward? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.